Collegiate Rundown. Great to have you all here today. We're going to be playing our Marshall Collegiate Rundown online Dynasty. Very exciting. Should be a fun one. Got some, I believe, some recruiting to do. Maybe not. Well, I guess we're good with recruiting. We'll be playing FCS Savvy. Should be a good tune-up game. Get us ready and set for our conference slate. Shouldn't be too difficult. We'll get some players in, get some nice practice, get a nice second W.
Welcome everyone to Huntington, West Virginia, Jones C. Edwards Stadium, home of the Marshall Thundering Herd.
The game so that we can wear our white jerseys because we just want to match the theme of the whiteout here. Should be a pretty fun one. Sam should be arriving in the middle of the game. We'll then, after this, be live making our picks for today's game and giving our analysis of the game that we will be attending later today. The Maryland-Washington game should be a fun one. Hope you all enjoy. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't really have a white option. That's not... They're away jersey, so well, that's what they'll be in today. I don't know completely why the game chose to do that, but that's how it is, so that's how we'll be playing today. Should be not too good.
Welcome everyone to Huntington, West Virginia, Jones C. Edwards Stadium, home of the Marshall Thundering Herd.
Great to have you all here in beautiful Huntington, West Virginia, 84 degrees, 4 miles an hour wind.
Marshall will kick off to get the festivities started.
Sam I wasn't able to record my game. I won.
Fielded in the end zone, it's
Jeffrey. We got some hype music on.
He stopped short of the 3 at the 19.
I will have to turn that off.
Wishes he'd just taken the touchback.
Thank you to our producer
who is
getting us
field.
hype.
As we take a quick look at the impact players for today's game, what players did you guys look to for motivation to make an impact during your playing days?
Well, it was the guys we relied on each and every week. We came into the season expecting these types of guys to be our biggest weapons, and every week those were the guys that had to deliver for us in order to have success.
And it's just fun to have those guys
that
are consistent.
It's secondary.
Then they start to learn their voice and lead the team. But every week, guys that you can count, they punch the clock.
Nice blocking, and here he goes. And look at him run. This is what you can do against our secondary if you can get there.
And they get him out of
Unbelievable.
bounds after an explosive run, just chewing up yardage along the way. The groupers just got that huge run. They love another explosive
And
play.
the lead option, nowhere to go. Nicely done.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to
cannot
lose
be
3
allowing
yards on
runs
the
like the
play.
one that they just got.
Last play was a near disaster. Now
It's just
dealing
not
with
going to
2nd
work
and
in
13.
actual serious conference games. And honestly, it's not going to work today. And
Using his feet.
Breakdown
He's
on the
going to
tackle
lose
by
a yard
Marshall.
on that one.
And Jaleel Rivera-Harvey.
3rd down, and they need 15 after 2 negative plays. Looking downfield, and he needs a punch.
Jadarius
And the
gets
defense
the
picks
sack.
up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44. And the groupers will send out the punt unit.
Not a sellout,
First
not
punt of the
nearly
day,
one,
and he'd
especially
love to lock them up
in
close
the
to their goal
end
line.
zone seats.
And they'll let that one go, and
We'll
it'll
get a
roll
couple
out
of
of
those
bounds.
this year.
The Thundering Herd offense takes the field. It's our
Talk
first
for a
look at
second
them in
while
this
we're
one.
getting our
And guys, we
going.
talk about how
But the
tight ends are
Washington
quarterback's
game today
best
should be an
friend.
absolute
Boy, this guy may take
excellent-
friendship
Oh,
to a
it's
whole
fired
nother
up!
level.
He
That
was
is so
rolling too far, and I wasn't thinking about it, and it picked off.
Ends with a pick. Never had a chance to get rolling after
Stupid
the pick, but
interception
he gives
gives
them the
FCS
ball in
Southeast.
prime field position at the 40. Great place to start for this offense.
And another
They'll
read
run the
option,
option.
and there
He'll
is
do it
Weiss.
himself.
And they have not
They'll
been able
knock
to
him
do
down
much
for
of
a loss
anything
of a
except for
couple.
that one burst.
Not what they had in mind to start this
Very
drive.
proud
Here
of how
comes
the
2nd
defense
and
started out.
13. They'll run it on the counter. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And how about the timing of the linebacker on the blitz to get in the backfield and get the tackle for loss?
Is there anything better for a linebacker than to run on a blitz and nobody's home except the back?
Such a great feeling when the Moses parts the Red Sea and the hole opens up and you go fit.
The Groupers will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Not going to take a chance to grab that one as it bounces out of bounds. Opening play of this drive comes from the 11. Leaves it with the back. Works his way ahead for 3 out to the 14. Solid pickup of 4 on first down and 2nd and 6.
Also gets ability to run play action
Off the
and
play
read
fake.
option. And they try to play action where they
Nowhere
can't
close on
block
that
well
one as
enough,
he
so
got
it's third down.
drilled trying to
And now
deliver
we're
the
gonna have
football, and
to
now they face 3rd down. And now let's see if the offense can
fires it
bail
to
itself
Norton,
out
and
after the
it's
2nd down
broken
misfire. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's 4th down. Marshall will be forced to punt. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. They'll need to show urgency to get another play off before the clock hits 0. He'll keep it himself. And they'll make the stop, and we are headed to the end of the first period.
Shocked that we are live. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Marshall, nothing. FCS Southeast, nothing.
We've reached the end of the first quarter, and it has been a defensive battle, and the stats tell the tale so
Marshall
far.
has 0 passing yards and 14 rushing yards. FCS Southeast, 0 passing yards and 36 rushing yards.
Had a chance to talk it over during
Second
the
and
break. They'll
11
start with 2nd
for
down.
the groupers of FCS Southeast, and they've got a big hole.
The give to the back.
He's just
Not
working
much
13.
running room
He lost
there
the
thanks to
previous
this
game, he
senior
lost the
defender.
recording of somehow.
Now facing a 3rd and long.
33 to 31.
About that one.
Alright, so
Managed this third
while
down.
Michael does this, I will
Comes
explain.
Then Gilmore with the
I will explain this
Just too
really
much
devastating
of a
loss.
rush,
So
and down
we were
goes the
24-14
quarterback
over
just behind the midfield
ECU in the
stripe
4th
at
quarter.
49. And the
Probably-
Groupers will punt it away on 4th down. 3 and out,
so-
they got stuck in reverse.
so
They hope
looked like
the
a
punt
walk
can
at that
bail
point.
them out.
Yeah, it's fine.
And the return
So,
man
it looked
couldn't
like a
get
walk
to
at
it
that
to make the catch, and the ball
They
will
scored
bounce
10.
out of bounds.
They outscored us by 10 in
The
the 4th
Marshall
quarter.
offense
It's
makes its way
24-24.
back onto the field.
Heading to OT.
He'll pull it on the read.
there-
Turner! Here he goes!
Oh,
Turner!
come on!
Once more.
Then the read option! Looks
then-
like it'll go all the way 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown!
So I don't really want to talk about this. So that we pulled them to a stop on 4th down in overtime. It's our ball with a chance to win it with a field goal.
And you see the
And
option being such a pain in the back.
I think
One of the best
48-yard
programs
field
in
goal.
college football. When you
So,
got quarterbacks that have
that's
to
just
run
second
How
overtime.
many
they're
yards
making you
did
play
you
very
lose that you would have to
disciplined.
take a
The
48-yard?
QB takes it himself, gets in for the score.
I was sacked when I
He'll bring it
tried
out.
to do
It's
like a little
Jeffrey.
short pass.
Didn't find any crease
Anyways,
in that
in the
kickoff
second
coverage,
overtime,
and
we
he'll
both
be
scored
stopped
touchdowns.
at the 17.
3rd overtime, alternating
Down this
point versions.
offensive
Neither of
back
us
on the
scored. 4th overtime, they score first.
They'll go to the fullback.
There,
And the defense snows him under
There,
after a
point
very
version.
short game.
I missed mine.
Plenty of work to do
Game
here
over.
on
We
2nd and
somehow
long.
hope that 10-point lead in the 4th quarter to ECU,
The option look.
and
And the
We rolled
defense
out 1 and 2.
holds firm.
we'll start. We win the final 9. We beat Michael twice.
They've got to come up
This
with
one
a
about
big
Cleveland
play on this
and
3rd and long.
Our head-to-head
Sends
game,
it back in
and then,
motion.
well, I'll be good. I'll always be in the
Oh,
playoffs,
what a tackle.
and we'll be. And
They'll
we
make
got
the stop about a yard short of the first down.
Overconfident, it seems.
The Groupers will line up to punt it away.
I want to explain that FCS Southeast 14-13 game real quick.
Well, you cannot blame me for like the
Coverage team able to put a stop to that return at the 42-yard line.
the pick six.
No
It
reason
just
to
was.
be in a big rush. They have
It
some
was,
time
I mean, this
here
game
late
was
in the game.
entirely different without that pick six. We're going
Quarterback on the
up 14
This time he
in
doesn't
the
get
first
loose, and
half.
finally the defense gets
Uh,
him
you
bottled
wanna
up
give some,
behind the
But
line.
instead, we were down 7. I mean, we
They'll
were
take
tied
this
7-7.
lead.
We're going to
to
go
the
for a
two-
pause real quick, and we're going to do a split screen so you can make your picks while I'm playing.
All right.
Let me open up. Dame un segundo, por favor. Playoff predictors
up, bro.
Me by tier T. What week is it? It's week 6, right?
Yep.
Hard to imagine we're already that far into. Yep, these are the games. You can fill out this stuff. Let me just organize our screen. Very well. Dame un segundo, por favor. Here we are. Go ahead, Sam can make his picks while we are live.
Time out and see if they can tack on a little more before the break.
Sam, do you want to make your
Working
picks?
well
Yeah, all right.
behind the
Let's
sticks
start.
on
So,
second
Finish
down.
out the games. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
okay. We were a bit late, sorry. We missed
He'll do
all
it
the weekday
himself.
games
Zion
in
Turner.
time.
He turns this into a nice gain and gets down to avoid the hit.
Design
All right,
quarterback
so
runs,
we
there's
missed
so
all the
many of them,
games, so I
so
will
many
fill
ways
in
to do it. But either way, it's about getting that extra blocker and getting a dynamic athlete. These quarterbacks are all dynamic athletes. They're basically running backs now, playing quarterback, trying to get them in space, and you can see he does the rest. He can chew up those yards quick, fast, and in a hurry.
To the air, it's Turner.
We
He
have
tosses
12
one
against
high and deep down the left side.
When they take big shots down the field and they air it out, I gotta trust my technique. I gotta stay with that wide receiver, wait till he shows his hands. When he shows his hands, I'm bringing my hands up.
Open space in the middle. He's brought down the one to play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line.
Delaware,
Marshall back at it with another first and 10.
missed field goal by Delaware.
Can't get him to the ground. And he
USA.
rolls into the house. Touchdown, Marshall!
And that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas.
Jose
Try to
State
make this a
instead
two-score game.
takes down New
You do
Mexico,
with that
kind of
touchdown.
like
This
Mexico
offense
after
executed
Washington,
beautifully.
against
The defense is
Michigan,
going to
and
have to find
after
something in the second half.
Yeah,
Boys
it's
at CLA, which was pretty hilarious, but they lose by 7 to SJSU. They almost put together a
Nice to
late
bring it out of the end
down
zone.
to
Did
18,
not
and then
work
the
out as he
third,
stopped
they
at the
scored 11
13.
before making a 7-point
They'll
game.
try to
Not
put something
Rich Rod.
together, backed
And
up a
BYU
bit,
takes down
starting
West
at their own
Virginia.
13.
Rich Rod still
Give
cannot
to
put
the
it
back.
together.
Turning it
And
on.
now, here we are.
Stopped at about the 25-yard line,
today's
but it'll
slate.
be a first down.
So,
We've got a
San Diego
timeout
State,
here late in the first half, and they'll try to
San
get
Diego
more
State,
points on the board
Colorado
before the
State.
break. He'll
So-
keep it himself.
okay, this one.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Sorry.
Timeout
So,
called
San
by
Diego
the
State actually
offense,
scores
and now
Colorado
they
State.
just have one remaining in the half.
Now,
Off play action.
we're on the Northwestern
Got it in the middle.
and
It's
ULM.
Kelly. He's
start with that
really
one.
close to that first down
Yeah,
marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
whatsoever.
The offense
Barely
calls a
took down
timeout to
Skella.
stop the clock.
Very well could be the worst team. They're probably not the worst team in the
On
FCS, but
third
they
and short,
they're
trying
near
to
it.
impose their will and move the chains.
They're not much better than.
The worst team in the Power
There
Five.
as they
Yeah,
have
I
it
mean
out
they're
to
not
the
much better
34
than
with
some
the
Group of
first
5
down.
teams. I mean they lost to one of the worst teams in the Mountain West by 25. But
Looking to throw on first
ULM's
down.
actually 3-1 right now.
On the
Nobody
run,
was
still
expecting
looking.
that.
Short gain on the play before he
But-
slides.
Well,
Quick tempo, no
Northwestern
huddle
should handle
offense.
business
Second
here.
down, clock's running.
Ohio State, Minnesota.
Wants to
Give
go
me
up top.
the Golden Ghost
Under
from the
fire.
boat. I'm kidding.
Escapes the
I
pressure
would,
going right.
I would
And he
love that
gets it
to happen.
just beyond the line of
I would
scrimmage
love
before he gets down.
that to happen, but
First half in the books.
I mean, I actually do like Minnesota every year. I don't really know why, but
Guys,
I
looks
do
like
think
we've
they're
got a
better
terrific
than
atmosphere there
people think.
today in
But I
Huntington.
mean, I don't really think they have a chance to
We're
upset
just about ready to
Ohio
start
State.
the second half.
Illinois and Purdue. Actually, I mean, I could maybe
And
see
he
it,
takes
but
this from inside the 5.
more than other teams. against Ohio State, but I still think
Couldn't
so.
find a way to create that broken field as he
Illinois
stopped at
was
the
25.
25.
They come off of
Marshall takes over the ball. The thundering herd offense coming out. If it's working, why change it? And that running game was working in the first half. I imagine we'll see a lot more of it here in the third quarter.
63 to 10
just know
North
the
Indiana.
offensive
They
line is
bounced
telling
back.
their coordinator, put this on
by
us.
David
Let us
Alon,
continue to go out there, push these guys around. We can put this game on our back and end this thing by running the ball.
And this is a manhood question for this defense. Like, as a defensive lineman, and you're pounding the rock, I got to physically rise to this challenge. This defense has to play more inspired and more physical in the second half.
One of those two teams, it might be Illinois.
Dropping back, it's Turner.
Purdue actually, well, I'm not going to say they're broken
Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23. Marshall will be forced to punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away.
That this game could be
Fair catch is brought in at the 43, and they are set up nicely. And now the offense will come onto the field again.
Then TCU and Colorado. So
On the option.
TCU is looking pretty good.
To the ground
They
with the back.
have
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no
last
more
Friday
than
night
that.
they were taken down by Arizona
Backed up
State.
now, here's second and long.
Before actually being ranked for the first time since I believe
From the gun, the
2022
ground
maybe,
game.
or preseason
That is a
2023.
big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got
Okay,
the
Mikey.
ball.
All right.
This offense is
So
doing
that was a
nothing.
shock.
They've
They were
already
in the
punted
drive. They
4
were up
times
7
and staring at
minutes
the
to go. And then in the
possibility
span of
of
40
a fifth.
seconds, they
He is not
Took that
going to get there.
and
Stop
forced it
short of the
ASU.
line to gain, and it'll be fourth down.
But outside of that,
And the groupers will bring the punt team onto the
Got
field.
some nice wins.
They've been busy out there to punt for the
They
5th time
were,
today.
they took down
And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds.
They
The
also
Marshall
took down
offense
their
makes its way
rivalry.
back onto the field. They didn't get much done the
Colorado.
last time they had it, and to punt it away from deep in their own
I'm not really
territory,
a big
hoping
fan
this
of
drive
this
will
year.
be more productive.
Again,
Grabbed over the middle, it's Payne. Breaks into the open. And he was on his way. Gets it all the way to the 38.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that
You need
lead.
to keep it.
They know you're
You
going to
can't
run
be
it.
moving the
But you
table
still
'cause it needs
got
to
to be
stay
able to
covered.
sprinkle in some
got
shot
that.
plays and some
All right.
vertical throws.
Problems
That was
solved.
really,
All right,
really
Alabama
good
game
thinking
day.
on
Okay,
that
Michael,
last
let
play
me
call
think.
by the offense.
all right, Alabama Vanderbilt. This one,
Halfway
obviously,
there on
the
first
shock
down, it's
was
second
that
and
for Vandy
5.
last year. I mean, nobody gave him a chance, but
Rides the
that
back
guy
and leaves it
pretty
on the
much
option.
from 2018 came
Defense
through.
there to stop him after a
But,
gain of 3,
I mean,
but he is inside the 30 to the 29.
People say that they could see this upset happening
I mean,
again.
it's really hard to
I
control
don't
the
really
running
see it
game
again.
if you
I
don't
mean,
control the
at
line of
Brian
scrimmage.
Denny,
And how about the defensive line
it's
doing
such
a
a
great job attacking
talented
those guys up front,
team.
not
I mean,
open up
they're
lanes
coming off
to
of a win
run
over
through.
Georgia just like last year.
Fires toward the end
But,
zone.
I mean,
And swatted
I feel
down
like
by the
they
defense
know
to
that
stop
they
the
can't
scoring
overestimate
opportunity.
Vandy
No
this year.
thought of
I
trying to
think
kick the
they are gonna come in
46-yarder.
better
They'll
prepared. I
go
think they,
for it.
obviously with Vandy being a top
Needs it to
team,
keep this
I think
drive
they're gonna
alive.
win this year.
Just across the
State,
20 with a first down
UCLA.
at the 19. This Marshall offense
Penn
putting
State
together a nice drive.
travels to LA to the Rose Bowl.
Off the
This
play
game,
fake on first
I would
down.
not be surprised if it was
Using his legs, keeping his
80% Penn
eyes
State fans.
downfield. Powers through the defender. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and
I
it's
don't think
first and goal
that's
from
really
the
gonna
8.
make
They
them
love to start this quarter
struggle
off with a
with UCLA,
touchdown
and
right here.
UCLA is just
We've reached the
horrendous
break,
this year.
and Marshall is on top. This has
So,
been
I'm
utter
gonna go with
domination
Penn State
through 3
pretty
quarters,
easy.
and the stats will back that up. Marshall gets the final period underway
All right,
here on first down.
Nebraska takes on Sparty.
They'll try to get it in with the run.
Coming off a bye week
He'll be
last
brought
week.
down at the 5-yard
after
line, and this
losing the
defense is on its heels.
I mean,
This
they
offense could not have
were
executed in
not
this situation any better, just
impressive
draining
tonight
some
to me.
time off the clock. And he was hit just as he was releasing the
tempted to go
pass, and it
Michigan
falls
State
to the ground
because
incomplete.
obviously, I mean, once again, I
Third
think
and
Michigan
goal
State
for the offense.
is better than people would think.
Steps
That's how I feel
away.
about a lot of Big Ten teams, though, because, well, I watched
And
them
he'll
over the
race
weekend.
it to the house. Touchdown, Herd! They push the lead out here in the fourth
Michael has
quarter
missed
and
that
close to
point,
getting
by
back
the way.
on track and going
Well,
2-1.
Yeah,
Love the quick decision-making by the quarterback. It's not just who's the open guy and who am I throwing it to. It's also having that clock, David, in your head that says, if no one's open and I'm down near the red zone, I'm taking off now and I'm using my athleticism.
You love the decision-making. I hate the defense. Why are we dropping back so far in the end zone? We got to keep eyes on this QB. We know he can take off. We know he can make plays. The field shrinks, man. You got to expect this coming. Not very good defense.
And they picked up 9 on first
Ohio
down. It'll
takes
bring
on
up second and
Ball
short.
State. Ohio looked very solid so far this season. They nearly take down Rutgers week 1.
They'll try the run.
34-31 loss.
Fights
They
off the
upset
defender.
West Virginia
Has
week
20
2.
for the first down, and they stop him at the 28.
Against Ohio State, this game was actually the scoreboard doesn't
Nice
look
job being physical by this offensive line, getting the first down, and what do? Right away, right back on the football, ready to run.
That game was a 13-9 ball game in the third quarter.
It pays off the sack at the 20. And the Groupers trying to find their way forward after the big
Ohio
loss on the last
after
play.
they're giving up 35 points to Gardner-Webb really
They'll go to
dogfight
work
with
in the air
Gardner-Webb
on
was
second
not
down.
a great look.
Got out
They
of
keep
trouble,
them going.
throws. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long.
Barely taking down New Hampshire for their one win.
Here comes the heat.
I mean,
Pulls it in. It's
I'm gonna go
Chandler.
with
He
Ohio
stopped at
here.
the 32-yard line. Not enough for the first down.
Kansas
Coach
State
has no
Baylor. This was
choice
very
here. The
interesting.
offense
I mean,
has to stay on the field,
if you
down
remember,
multiple possessions
Kansas
this
State,
late.
they
4th
were in
down
a
attempt
horrible
coming.
spot. I mean, it was kind of quieted after they took down UCF in their bye week.
This drive with a
Wait,
sack.
their
This
after
offense
their
has
bye
it
week.
with really good field position.
We hadn't heard much about them
To the
since
air, it's
their
Turner.
lost to Army and then
Pressure
Arizona.
is
But
on
they
the
were
way, and the
looking
pressure
so bad
has
to start the year.
arrived, and
Maybe
down he goes at
yes,
the
they're
30.
talented. They're a talented
Marshall
team.
comes to the line way behind the sticks here on
So
2nd and
maybe
long.
they are they finally
Try
figured
and
it
play
out.
action.
But Baylor's a pretty solid team as well.
Pass is incomplete, and by this stage of his career, you'd think a junior quarterback might take a little better care of the football.
Their losses
Marshall
are
needs
to
a
Auburn
near
and
miracle
Arizona
on this
State, two
3rd and
quality
long. Finds his tight end. There he goes.
I actually like Kansas State.
Picks up enough to give them first
Get back
and
on the
10
right
from
track.
the 11.
But I
We've
mean,
reached the
Roy
2-minute
Robinson's
timeout, and in all likelihood, they could just run the clock out. We'll see if they want to rub a little salt in the wound. Marshall back at it with another 1st and 10.
Navy Air Force.
He'll pull it on the read.
The game
Stopped in the
that, well,
backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
We had other
Phenomenal
plans.
job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time. Offensively, the defense coming up with a huge negative
Once
play.
again, they're struggling this season. Their defense just has
An
not looked
unforced
great this
error
year.
there. They
and
don't get the
Navy's
snap off
offense
in
with
time.
Blake Horvath, and the triple option. It's just, I mean,
The delay of game pushes the
Air
offense
Force
back.
probably knows how to handle, knows how to defend that best, as they obviously kind of run something similar as a service academy, and they always play these service academies. But
2nd down coming
here,
up.
I mean, I feel like
And
Navy
they'll take a knee.
probably should win this one. I obviously, as
The last 2 plays have not gone as scripted. It's 3rd and 19.
I think Navy will handle business here. Pitt, Boston College.
It's quite the Boston accent.
Boston College. Pitt, they started 2-0 with 2 pretty easy wins. From there,
Quarterback
they
takes a knee.
And a running game can be really hard to stop when you got so many guys that can do some damage. And this defense is taking some licks. This QB's made them look silly a couple of times, but they're starting to adjust. Gotta like that play right there, getting to him and getting him on the ground.
Now,
And here comes the field goal team. Salt, meet open wound. He'll try to knock it through from 38 yards out.
Statement out of conference win. Then they lose to the 2 West Coast. They lose to 2 West Coast ACC opponents.
And they get the icing on the cake, and that
So,
might make for some long memories after this one. when you know you have a team outclassed. The ability to play.
I'm going to go with Pitt. I don't really think Pitt's too great either this year, but I think they should be able to take down BC. Army travels to UAB. They actually are not. I mean, we thought they'd be good this year once again. But no, they were taken down week 1 by Tarleton State with a pretty bad choke by their kicker. They actually take down Kansas State, which coming into the year, you'd have been shocked. You'd think that was a crazy good win for them. That could have been a top 15, maybe a top 10 win. No, Kansas State's really ass. Then they are taken down in overtime by North Texas, who's actually a very solid opponent, as we've seen. And then they lose to ECU. They're 1-3 right now. UAB is 2-2, but does UAB know how to stop this Army attack? I'm not sure. I mean, Dwayne Coleman obviously can do it all. He's very mobile, as you would expect out of a Army quarterback. So I'm going to go with Army. I think they get back on the winning side of things. Iowa State travels to Nippert Stadium to take on Cincinnati. This one, pretty interesting in my opinion. Iowa State, they are 5-0 right now. I mean, they've had some solid, nice looking wins over K-State, over Iowa, over Arizona. Then they struggled mightily at Arkansas State, which is not a good look. I mean, it was a one-score game till the end of the game, and it really was a one-score game. Actually, the final score was, and it was a 1-point game in the fourth quarter. I mean, that was not a good look for them, but they're still 5-0. They're still the number 14 team in the country right now. Cincinnati, with the I actually like them in this one a lot. They're one loss, a 3-point loss to Nebraska, and a pretty solid Nebraska team. And I think their team is pretty underrated this year, actually, as do the betting lines. They're actually favored to win this one, and I agree with that. I actually am going to pick Cincinnati here. Oh, to take down Iowa State.
That's a pick.
Georgia, Kentucky. I mean, Georgia coming off, yet again, they just cannot take down Alabama, as we saw last week.
No.
Michael,
Take it, Georgia.
Okay. Georgia took down Tennessee the week, 2 weeks before with a Max Gilbert missed kick to end regulation. And Kentucky, they're not looking great. I mean, I'm not a big believer in their team. I don't really like these journeyman quarterbacks like Zach Calzada here. I'm not a big fan of the offense right now. I mean, I just don't trust Calzada that much. He was actually benched, so they have Carter Foley now, and once again, I'm not a fan of them starting a freshman, inexperienced freshman at that. I'm gonna go with Georgia in this one, as you might expect. Now I gotta wait for Michael to make this the full screen as we move on to the game of the week. The best team in college football taking on a pretty poor Wisconsin team. And I mean, I feel like this should be a lock. But I actually don't like saying that because Michigan, well, we've had some pretty bad losses to Wisconsin in the past. And, well, I mean, Wisconsin can beat us. We've seen that before. I mean, normally they're not this bad, but they can beat us. So, I'm kind of scared. We should handle business. They've looked very bad this year. But at the same time, they can always beat Michigan. We know that. We've seen that. But especially Michigan coming off a bye week, we haven't had our coach coaching us in game since game 2 when we were taken down by Oklahoma. Michael, what are you doing? Anyways, I'm going to
Washington safety cornerback Tacario Davis will be out.
Tacario Davis. Do you even know who you're talking about?
Billy Edwards Jr. is out
for the season. I know.
That's good for Michigan.
Yeah, there's. Anyways, Wisconsin, they are starting true fresh. Wait, is he a true freshman? No, he's actually a senior, but he has. Now, I've never heard of this guy. Hunter Simmons, apparently, he did not even start for Southern Illinois last season. He transferred in from Southern Illinois, and last year, he played in just 5 games before being benched, I believe. Actually, might not have been benched, but, he only passed for 800 yards for Southern Illinois, last season. And I really don't know why Wisconsin's trusting him to be their quarterback, as he couldn't even start for Southern Illinois. But the better for Michigan. Go Blue. We will take down the Badgers in this one. Clemson travels to take on Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels. Clemson looking very poor. I mean, they're 1-3 right now. We thought that Cade Klubnik was my preseason Heisman pick. I'm not going to lie to you. He has not performed up to that standard. But UNC also, they are not looking good whatsoever. They are 2-2. Their wins over Charlotte and Richmond. They've been taken down against the 2 quality opponents that they played in TCU and UCF. They've lost by a combined 69 points. Okay, and Clemson favored to win this one, and I think that's rightly so. I mean, I think they bounced back against Bill Belichick-led UNC team. UTSA travels to Temple, and UTSA, once again, they're pretty solid, but they have not looked great. Let's take away their Texas A&M game, which actually wasn't a bad showing by them. They were actually kind of close early in the second half. But Temple, I believe, their 2 losses so far this year, they're Oklahoma and Georgia Tech. Those are 2 top 25 teams. And so you can't really take away much from that. I mean, UTSA versus a top 25 team, they're like 2 very different opponents. And Temple, I actually kind of like them this year, but with all their experience with transfers from Power 5 programs, but I think UTSA is too talented. I think they've got what many Group of 5 teams don't have really in it, like coaching and talent. So I'm going to go with UTSA. Wake Forest takes on Virginia Tech. And Wake, they are 2-2 right now. They barely take down Kennesaw State week 1. They almost took down Georgia Tech last week in overtime. They went for 2 for the win, and it was intercepted.
That was sad. That was a sad finish.
So after all that, they were taken down, but they were really in a position to win that one. Virginia Tech, since firing Brent Pry, they have won their last 2 games over Wofford and NC State. So, they're on the up right now. They're looking better. And Wake Forest, I don't know how much I trust them really. But I'm going to take, this one's actually this is a very interesting game in my opinion. And I like Virginia Tech to get to 3-3. I like them here.
I think if we were judging on talent alone, Virginia Tech wins this game.
Yeah, and
the thing
I feel
is,
like
I honestly think that their coaching has gotten better without Brent Pry. I think that Wake Forest does have a lot of anger, but I think that when you lose a game that tough, when you're not like one of the top teams in the sport, you really are going to struggle the next week to get it together because you're really just angry. It was an unbelievably sad way to lose. I didn't agree with the call to go for 2.
Why would you not? I agree with that. You make 2 analytically. You're gonna make a 2-point conversion 2 out of 3 times. Maybe that's not exactly the case. Not when you're against a Georgia Tech team that could very well be elite. But if you have the chance to take on an elite team with a 2-point conversion, I think you would take that all day long. So. But Tennessee didn't do it against Florida, and we won. So. Okay, but Florida wasn't an elite opponent. So that's correct. Are you saying that Tennessee was an elite team last year? Thank you. I'm not. But anyways, we're off to NC State Campbell. NC State should take them down. Arizona takes on Oklahoma State, and obviously Oklahoma State, they are horrendous. We saw them lose to Tulsa just a few weeks back. They're 1-3 right now. They're 1 win. over.
Have we escaped the noon window yet?
Over UT Martin.
Have we escaped the noon window yet?
What do you mean?
Or is it still the noon games that you're picking?
No, they're not in order. Anyways, Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna take them here. I don't really think Oklahoma State's just good enough, really.
Yeah, that's probably correct.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, their talent-wise, in my opinion, I'd compare them to an average group of 5 opponent, maybe even lower.
I mean,
so
you saw them against Tulsa. We all saw them against Tulsa.
Yeah.
Tanner Applewhite has got some promise, but
okay,
he's still young.
we gotta hurry this up so we can get in all of the games. UMass takes on Western Michigan,
UMass.
and they're just, I mean, once
Well,
again, they're
it's
just not
UMass,
looking
guys.
good. I mean, Western Michigan not great either, but UMass lost to Bryant. They showed no promise against They showed less promise against Iowa than my Albany Great Danes did.
Yeah, they gave Kirk Ferentz his record-breaking win or whatever.
I'm going to take Western Michigan here.
So.
Oregon State. I mean, I actually thought they'd be the better
just
team.
being kind. Trust.
All right. Oregon State. I thought they'd be the better out of the two teams coming into the year. And, well, they just have looked horrible so far against an App State team that maybe is one of the least talented App State teams in 15 years. I mean, I actually kind of like Oregon State to finally get their win here, but it's a tough pick to make, seeing how bad Oregon State has been. So I'm going to take App State.
I mean, that is actually an interesting game because both teams have just had such a struggle to win games early in the season. App State definitely not at the level that they normally are. I agree with you. I think they do pull it off at home. It's really hard to go into Boone Pickens in the mountains and pick off the Mountaineers. And Oregon State, after losing such a heartbreaker last week to Houston, don't think they have it in them to win this week.
I agree. So, James Madison, Georgia State, they travel to Atlanta, Center Park Stadium, and I think they take them down. We gotta hurry this up, so I'm just gonna go rapid fire for that one. Notre Dame, Boise State. I trust Notre Dame in this one. I think they, they're 2-2 right now. I think they get their third straight win. I think they prove that they should be the ranked 0-2 team.
Ignore it.
Yeah, I saw that, Michael. Anyways, Boise State, they just haven't. I mean, they've won 3 straight since that horrible opening week loss, but at the same time they haven't really proved that they are back at a similar level to last year to me, so I'm going to take Notre Dame. Northern Illinois, Miami of Ohio. Both teams sitting at 1-3. Northern Illinois, I mean, they have had some pretty close losses, I'm not going to lie. They lost 6-3 last weekend. They looked kind of good against Maryland, I'm not going to lie. They were pretty close. It was a 4-point game by the end of the third before Maryland scored one late. They also barely struggled to take down Holy Cross. Miami, Ohio, they were my preseason MAC winner pick, and I still stand by that. I mean,
even with Ohio's recent performance and then their more recent woes?
Yes, I still stand by this because their losses to Wisconsin, where they held Wisconsin to 17 points. I mean, Wisconsin's obviously not looking good at all, but still a talented Power 5 team. Then they lose to Rutgers. That one didn't look great, especially after seeing Ohio. I think it'll be close to them and Ohio. I think that those will be the top 2 teams in the MAC again. And their other loss, UNLV, which is obviously a very talented program with all of these Power 5 transfers and Dan Mullen. Then they take on Lindenwood. Not much to say about that. I'm gonna say they get their first FBS win of the season in this one. Syracuse, SMU.
ACC game, guys.
Yep.
You go tell that to someone in 1989 when SMU got the death penalty, they would laugh you out of the room.
So,
I mean, my goodness.
Syracuse, they have, coming off of a big win over Clemson just 2 weeks ago, people maybe thought they were looking up. Maybe they thought that running sprints after a game would talk some sense into them. But it did not. We saw them against Duke last week. They lose by 35. Then now they have to travel to Gerald J. Ford Stadium to take on SMU. SMU, I mean, they're lost to
President
Baylor
Gerald
and
Ford.
TCU, two of the better programs in the Big 12. They lose to Baylor in a potential game of the year. I mean, it's such a close loss. So, I think that they should be able to take down Syracuse in this one. Okay, Michael. Buffalo. I think Buffalo takes on Eastern Michigan at home. I think Buffalo should handle business in this one. I think they actually are one of the better teams in the MAC this season. Even after their recent performances, barely taking down Kent State, losing to Troy, losing to UConn, I still think they take down Eastern Michigan. Akron, Central Michigan. Okay, Michael. Akron, Central Michigan. Akron, they're looking really bad. They were shut out in their first two games by Wyoming and Nebraska, respectively. Their one win over Duquesne. They still don't have an FCS win this year. Central Michigan, they're 3-2 right now. They were not very good at all against Michigan, but they've bounced back since then. They take down Eastern Michigan, their rivals, and I think they should improve to 2-0 in MAC conference play. UConn and FIU. UConn, I thought they would be better than they have been.
Delaware.
They lose to Delaware week 3. Whoops. They lose to Delaware week 3. They bounce back with 2 wins of their own, and they actually haven't looked particularly bad. But at the same time, they've also struggled with teams. I'm not doing anything.
I know.
Okay. Alright, so they've struggled with teams. They've struggled with Ball State. They have. Okay, Michael, please let me focus. I mean, it's kind of tough with this beeping noise in the background, too. Sorry if you can hear that as well. Anyways, FIU, Keon Jenkins, I thought he'd be better with more experience. He has not looked great this year. And, okay, I think that UConn should take down FIU. I think they should improve to 4-2. I think they actually have looked better than their record might show right now. Texas travels to Florida. And, oh my goodness, Michael, what have you done?
Let me work on it real quick. Okay. Sorry about this, y'all. This is not Gert.
Alright. It looks like that has fixed it. Good job, Michael. Maybe not. But
That should fix it. Give it a try.
anyways, DJ Lagway, we thought he'd be great coming off that injury. He looked great against Georgia before that injury last year. But since how is he still standing? Alright, anyways, but he's really struggled this year. They lose to USF.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay,
Oh my god.
they lost to USF week 2 this season. They still have not won since that LIU game. And I think they should actually make this one more competitive.
Pause. We're gonna go take a look at the instant replay.
Michael, they can't see that.
Yes, they can.
No, they can't. Look at it. Michael, just leave this shit.
Ooh, he's angry. Give him a second. Sorry about that, guys.
Bro, why are we...
Look. Okay, so.
Okay, we just...
The punt is off. He's caught by
Just...
Fox.
Nobody needs to see this practice, bro.
And now it's in someone's hand. I have no clue whose. I think Fox. And now it's on the ground a bunch. And now he's still going. And then at some point soon it's going to go up. Here's the pile. It goes up in the air. Bridges Brooks has it. And Xavier Bridges Brooks is off to the races. And he is gone.
Okay, wow, he scored in your practice. Good job, Michael. Anyways, here we go. This is not a touch screen.
It's no Iceman touchscreen.
I think Florida, with the importance of all these games, I think they will come out and perform, but I don't think they have enough to take down Texas. Even if Texas has not looked great, then we have the game of the week right here. The one we will be going to. The game we will be headed to. Mike, can you put the games on your TV? Can you put it on the Michigan game?
Let's see, actually.
All right. This is the game you're heading to Maryland and Washington.
Down there,
Washington travels to Maryland. The only other time Maryland has hosted a West Coast team in the Big Ten, they stormed the field. So hopefully that means we get our first football field storm today.
Well, we would have gone to a couple of court stormings, but all lot.
All right. Anyways, Maryland, they are undefeated. They've actually looked very good this year. I'm not going to lie to you. They have looked very solid. What are you doing, Michael?
Let me make sure that that's not going to kill the stream.
Putting on your TV?
Well, turning off the Xbox. It will, but so we don't. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
All right. So Maryland, they're 4-0 right now. They
multi-view or no multi-view?
Just put on the Michigan game, please. I don't want to have multi-view. I don't want that to be disturbing my Michigan watching. All right. Maryland, they take on Washington. Washington favored in this one, and I agree with that. But Washington last week, we thought they would beat Ohio State. They really did not show much promise at all. I mean, maybe early on it was kind of close, but that's their one loss this year. Outside of that Ohio State game, they are these teams combined are 7-0. So that means they're 7-1, obviously combined. But what are you doing, Michael? Just leave the Michigan game on.
But I need to make it enhanced.
All right. Washington, Damon Williams. We know this guy's talented. We've seen that. We know that for a fact. Malik Washington, he has performed out of his mind. That guy has looked outstanding for the Terps. He has looked outstanding as a true freshman quarterback, too. But is that enough to handle this Washington defense? Is that enough to handle a talented Washington team with very little experience as a college quarterback? I don't think so. I'm going to go with Washington.
Ooh, what? That's an interesting pick. I don't know what to think about this game, honestly. I think it's going to be a really good game. I don't think Maryland will storm if they win. Why do you think that? Just because they always do it?
I don't particularly, but I hope they do. It's more wishful thinking than anything else.
That's fair. I think Maryland, to prove themselves, has to be a little bit more proud of what they're able to do. I don't know why they seem to have this feeling that whenever they win a conference game, they need to storm the field. You need to be proud of your team. You need to have that ability to treat just a game like any other. Here comes Michigan.
Out come the Wolverines of Michigan.
College game day. We've got 4 games started.
All right, Michael. Michael, we can
continue.
Okay, let me finish this. So you have Louisville and Virginia. Louisville, they are undefeated right now. They have looked pretty solid this year. But they take on a top 25 Virginia team who has maybe just had the greatest field storm in college football history. And Virginia, their one loss, it was a tight one to NC State where they threw an interception in the end zone. Then they bounced back. They take down top 10 Florida State last week. So they're 4-1. Louisville 4-0. This is actually a very interesting game. But I like Louisville to take down Maryland. I think they've got the talent. I do like Maryland's defense a lot, actually. But I think Louisville should take them down. I think they're very talented. I think their offense looks very solid. So I'm going to go with Louisville. Texas State, Arkansas State. All right. So this one, Arkansas State, they almost take down Iowa State. And maybe people were thinking they could be solid. After that, since then, they've lost to Kennesaw State and they lost to ULM, 2 maybe of the worst teams in the FBS. They take on Texas State, one of the better group of 5 teams, and I think Texas State handles business here. Oklahoma should take down Kent State. I don't know why it's not clicking here. Coastal Carolina versus Old Dominion. I mean, Coastal, I thought we looked horrible. I mean, we were 1-2 going with just 20 points after our first 3 games. We took down Charleston Southern 13-0, and we needed a quarterback switch. It was 3-0 in the 4th quarter.
Okay,
because we threw 3 interceptions there. We lost 48-7 to Coastal. We lose 48-7 to Charleston Southern. We lose 38-0 against East Carolina. But then we just come out and shock the world. Shocked me. I was shell-shocked when we took down South Alabama by 18. But at the same time, we never beat Old Dominion. I do not know why. I have no idea why we always lose to Old Dominion, but I think that continues. FAU travels to Rice. And FAU, they're not looking great in my opinion. They still do not have an FBS victory. Rice with Chase Jenkins. I like this offense actually. I think they have talent. I think they look better than they have in recent years, and I think they will take down FAU. Troy, South Alabama. I mean, South Alabama. If I was already ranting about how bad Coastal was, and then they go and take down South Alabama by 18. I mean, how bad does that make South Alabama? How bad does that make South Alabama? They are 1-4 right now, and they really, I mean, they have had some close losses to quality opponents, but well, against Troy, a team that made Clemson struggle, which, well, maybe isn't too impressive this year, but it's still Clemson. Troy, they took down Buffalo, which is a very quality win. Very much a quality win. And I think they take down South Alabama here with a struggling South Alabama team. Texas Tech. Anyways, here's Hunter Simmons as, well, you're not watching, but anyways, here in the Michigan Hoco game. Hunter Simmons, SIU transfer. I think we were good. But anyways, Texas Tech, Houston. Both of these teams at 4-0. Texas Tech, number 11 in the nation. They have looked dominant. I mean, they haven't played. I mean, they took down Utah by 24. Utah was number 16 going into that game, and then they hit their bye week. I think they pick up right where they left off. I think that they honestly, that Houston maybe. I mean, they're 4-0, but their wins, an overtime win over Oregon State, who's looked horrible. They take down Colorado, Rice, and Stephen F. Austin. Those just are not impressive wins whatsoever, so I'm going to take Texas Tech in this one. I would not be shocked if Houston actually made this one close, but I'm going to go with Texas Tech. UNLV, Wyoming. Wyoming's just, I mean, I thought that Wyoming would be horrible going into this year. I mean, at home, they actually have a great home field advantage. I love that place. They're 2-2. Their two losses to Utah and Colorado, 2 Power 5, 2 Big 12 opponents. But at the same time, UNLV's 4-0. They are maybe the most talented Group of 5 team in the country. And I think they should handle business here against Wyoming. Miami, Florida State. This one is very interesting. With Florida State coming off of a devastating double overtime loss to Virginia, we will see how they will bounce back. Miami, they are 4-0. Miami is 4-0. And they took down number 6 Notre Dame week 1 on that Sunday night. They have taken down Florida and USF since then. Florida State, they are at home in this one. Thanks for telling me, Michael. Yeah, Florida State, this game means so much to them in this rivalry, and to bounce back after such a tough loss too would be incredible for them. They are 3-1 with the win over Bama, obviously the headliner. And this one, the 7:30 ABC primetime game. And I think that this one will be very close. I think this one actually will be a pretty good game, but I think Miami takes them down. Anyways, we are off in Ann Arbor. Wait, I did not mean to click on Mississippi State. But this Mississippi State game, so disregard that I accidentally clicked on. Oh, I can just click on it again.
Click on it again.
Good, I did that. Thank you, Michael. Texas A&M, I'm not a big fan of them this year. Obviously they're talented. Obviously at home, it's always going to be tough to beat them, especially at night. And then they take down Notre Dame in that thriller. That was very interesting and a very good win for them. Then they take down Auburn in a close one. But Mississippi State, I really like how they've battled back, how they've gone against the odds, and actually made this season one to remember. They've had a great start. They were 4-0 going into last week, where they lose in overtime to Tennessee. Michael might have had a heart attack in that one. That would have been a pretty bad loss. I'm not sure if they're legit yet. That's the thing. Are they legit or are they not?
Neither am I. Yeah, that's what I want to see today. That's
Yeah.
what I want to see how they
I
do.
think they could definitely
if they stay fighting, I will be a lot happier with Tennessee if Mississippi State gives a fight to A&M.
And I think they will give a fight, but I don't think they'll be able to take them down. I think this one will be close, but I think Texas A&M takes them down. Kansas and UCF. The Knights here, they are 3-1. They lose to K-State, which obviously is a very bad loss. Don't really want to elaborate more on that because we've already talked about K-State a lot. Their wins, UNC, who's obviously looked horrible. Can you get your foot off of me, Michael? And then they've taken on Jacksonville State by 7, which obviously is not too impressive. Kansas and Jalen Daniels. It's interesting every time. Seeing Jalen Daniels, we always think he's elite. And then his play kind of backs it up sometimes. And he's actually looked pretty solid stats-wise so far this season. Their losses to Cincinnati and Missouri, 2 pretty solid opponents. They take down West Virginia. Move your fucking leg, Michael.
Oh, he's angry.
And I think they should take down UCF here. I think... Actually, scrap that. I'm going to take UCF here. I think that in the bounce house, they should take... They will prove themselves in this one.
Ooh, I don't love that pick. I'm gonna just be honest. I think if you're out there losing to Kansas State, I mean, how bad is UNC? But I don't love that.
Come on, guys.
Nice throw over the middle. Wisconsin, another first down. They're driving early.
Okay.
Against Michigan, and we'll continue our picks. Not gonna overrule. I think there's a good chance UCF pulls it out, but.
Yeah, because the last 2 times you've overruled my pick, it has gone in who I picked. By the way, let's just clear that up. Tulsa plays Memphis. Memphis, they are undefeated, and obviously once again they're a top group of 5 team, and they've taken down top opponents. They've taken down Troy. They've taken down Arkansas. So I'm gonna go with them here. Fresno State and Nevada. You get to our final 2 picks in this one, actually. Fresno State and Nevada. Fresno State, I saw them play last season against Michigan, and they're 4-1 this year. They're 1 loss to Kansas. They've taken out Oregon State, which coming into the year I thought would actually be a pretty solid win, but Oregon State looked horrible. Nevada's 1-3 right now here, and I think that could play a factor in this game. I just don't think they're that great. Their 1 win is against Sac State, who is pretty talented, obviously.
Big game on the running game for Wisconsin.
Okay, Michael, let me finish. We got two picks left.
Plant thoughts crashing about.
All right, I'm gonna go with Fresno State in this one. I don't think Nevada's just good enough to stay in this one. Then our last pick of the day, Duke in California.
Ooh,
Duke coming off of it could be actually Duke coming off of a big win over Syracuse last week. They've also taken down NC State, but their losses, Illinois by 26. Illinois obviously with a huge loss to Indiana. That loss maybe doesn't look too great, even with the win over USC. Then they also lose to Tulane, which Tulane's pretty solid, but still not a loss you want. Cal is 4-1. They're actually contending right now. I think they've looked very solid with the wins over Minnesota and Boston College. They were looking great. I mean, they've looked very solid until you see SDSU. Somehow, San Diego State beat Cal 34-0. I'm really not sure how that happens. I don't think San Diego State's particularly good. I like their defense. Their offense just is not, in my opinion, isn't great. Even if
Wisconsin's so short.
Even if they've looked pretty good. And Cal, I mean, it's tough to pick a team that loses to a Mountain West team 34-0 when you're in the ACC. So I'm going to go with Duke here. I think they travel to the West Coast. They handle the time difference, and I think they take down Cal. So that's it for this episode of TCR Picks. Michael took down FCS Southeast in his Dynasty game. We have our Week 6 picks here, and Oh, come on!
Did he catch that?
Yes, but he was running with the ball for 15 yards.
Oh.
What do you mean?
First and goal.
Anyways, that is it for this episode of TCR.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. That is it. Do I click stop share?